Coming up on Michigan Replay, the Wolverines send the Buckeyes home licking their wounds as Michigan wins the big one. We'll have the highlights. We'll also look back on a great career that had its ups and downs with John Navarre. All that and more coming up next. Michigan Replay with Lloyd Carr is brought to you in part by The Joy of Pepsi and by Big Boy Restaurants. Big Boy makes you say, oh boy.
First of all, let me congratulate you on your championship, number one. Number two, we'd like to invite you to the Rose Bowl.
We accept!
Subject to the final ratings, but we're going to have you in Pasadena on January 1st, 2004.
Roses in the Michigan locker room following a 35-21 win over Ohio State. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Michigan Replay. Coach Lloyd Carr, a victory over the Buckeyes in Ann Arbor.
Well,
an undisputed Big Ten championship. Congratulations.
Thanks, Jim. It was a special day.
It was a special day indeed.
But I do want to start off by apologizing. In the heat of the moment at the end of the first half, I was rude to the ABC reporter. It's something I really feel badly about, and I just want to say that I'm sorry, and it's inexcusable, and hopefully I won't do it again.
Mea culpa, mea maxima culpa.
What does that mean?
I don't know, something I learned when I was an altar boy. Well, your apology, I'm sure, is accepted by ABC. The biggest thing, though, is you came out of there at the half with a 14-point lead, and you went to a knee, which, in my opinion, was a good thing to do because you get the ball back at the beginning of the third quarter, and the ball's on your side of the 50. You don't want to make a mistake at that point.
Well, there's a lot of things that can go wrong, and really the wind was, we were into the wind, so our best chance was to get a field goal. And so I just felt like, as you mentioned, that we'd have the ball to start the second half. And so, but, you know, I can understand why some people would be upset that we took a knee. But there's no question in my mind it was the right decision.
I know, but you know what? They're not coaching the Michigan football team.
Let's get on with this game and talk about these guys that played so well.
When do you want to start doing the show? I'll switch places with you. Let's go to the first half. This is your second possession, and this is when your offense started clicking on all cylinders.
Jim, the one thing we talked about every day this week was trying to get off to a fast start, get the lead, make Ohio State play from behind. The screen pass has been a great play for us all year long, and it was a very effective play again on Saturday.
And Steve Breston with the football is a special kid, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He's a guy that can make you miss, and there he gets a first down by making a couple guys miss.
And how about this 3rd and 8 play by Braylon Edwards?
Well, Braylon had a great game, but Jim, the story of this game, I think a lot of it goes back to our offensive line. Great pass protection. We did not give up a sack against probably the leading sack team in the nation.
And that is Jackson for 6. Now here's a special play. You put Steve Breston at quarterback.
Well,
You're a tricky old guy.
Yeah, we wanted to show a little creativity. I give all the credit to Terry Malone and our offensive staff finding a way to get Breston the football, and of course that was a big play in that game.
Sure it was, and it's got to surprise Ohio State. So let's get you a 7-0 lead here on a 3rd and 2 short yardage. You stuff them and get the ball back.
But twice in that first half, our defense came up with big 3rd down and short stops to give our offense the football, Jim. And here a well-blocked play, Chris running the safeties are the guys that had to make a play. And how about this play?
Braylon Edwards breaking a couple tackles and going the distance.
Well, it's a 15-yard pass, and Braylon, once he got out in the clear, but he had to run through a tackle there. And a lot of guys would have gone down, but he's so big and strong. He makes a big play out of really what could have been a short game.
All right, makes it a 14-0 game. Here's that other 3rd and 1. Krenzel tries to go on the option. Harrison and Bowman, they stop him.
Well, Larry Stevens in there, but yeah, great job of controlling the line of scrimmage. How about this miss? I mean, this guy, there's 6 or 7 extra yards.
Yeah, he'd be hard to catch in a phone booth, wouldn't he?
Yes, he would.
All right, here we go. This is Navarre again. And a guy that comes in, Carl Tabb, replacing an injured Jason Avant.
Well, Jim, one of the most disappointing plays of the day was on our first pass completion. Jason Avant sprained his ankle and sprained his knee. And the report is very good on Jason. But he came out, and Carl Tabb stepped up and really did a great job. And there's a great play by our quarterback with great protection hitting Braylon. And now we're ahead 14-0, Jim.
You're ahead 21-0.
21-0.
Well, aren't you glad
that's
it was
even better?
I know. Aren't you glad it was 21 because Ohio State starts to move the ball?
Well, there's about 5 minutes to go in the half, and Ohio State put a good drive together there. We had trouble tackling Krenzel. He is a big, strong guy. He's not easy to get off his feet.
And they're able to get in here on a 3rd and 1. This is just a great throw and a great catch.
Well, Jeremy has very, very good coverage. Krenzel throws the ball away from the coverage, outside, away from the defender. It's a perfectly thrown ball, and it's a great momentum builder there for Ohio State.
21-7.5. Reiterate again, you go to a knee with about 40-some seconds left. You got timeouts left, but right before the half, the ball's on your side of the 50, and you get the ball to begin the 3rd quarter. That's what you were thinking?
Well, I just felt, the fact that we were going to get the ball again to start the 3rd quarter, and we were going into the wind, and if you get a sack, you get a ball knocked loose, then, they're in scoring position. We had worked awfully hard, Jim, to get a 14-point lead, and I just didn't think the reward was worth the risk.
Enough said. When we come back, we'll take a look at the 2nd half. But first, we hear from Steve Greston. Talks about his stint as a quarterback.
Yeah, I was happy about it because, that's the first time I've been at quarterback for a long time. It's just, I felt good just scoring at that position.
Now, the Les Stanford Chevrolet locker room report.
We don't get rattled, don't get shook up or nothing. They make a couple plays, that's going to happen because they good players. They're on scholarship just like that. But when the game is on the line, I'm going to make the play, and we're going to make the play.
Jeremy Lesueur has just absolutely played great this year, his senior season.
He's got a lot of confidence.
Yes, he does.
As you can see.
He displayed it.
Well, yes, he did.
You got a 21-14 lead. You come out at the beginning of the half.
21-7 lead.
21-7. I'm having trouble with this score. 21-7. You get the ball. Key drive to regain momentum was that opening possession.
Jim,
right?
I thought it was one of the real big points in the game because, first of all, we had a great kickoff return out past the 40-yard line. Great field position. It's much easier to call offensive plays when you start off out on the 40 as opposed back to the 20.
And in this drive, you never get to a 3rd down.
Well, great protection again. Yeah, it was really a well-executed drive there. Braylon catching the spot route again and getting up the field.
And how about Chris Perry?
Well, this is a great run. Right there, you see a play that was really well blocked, but Chris makes the safety miss. We got the corner block, but if he doesn't make the safety block, or miss, it's a 10 or 12-yard gain as opposed to a touchdown.
28-7 at this point, but guess who's coming back?
Well, Ohio State would not go away, and I thought...
You never thought they would, though,
No,
right?
we didn't, but we had opportunities, but we just, they did a great job here, a lot of time to throw. We have a zone blitz there, and when that happens and the quarterback has that much time, somebody's going to be open. One of the 2 or 3 relatively big plays in the game against our defense.
But when you need it, you get a big sack.
Well, Elaine Cashman and Lamar Woodley come off the edges there, and this ended up being a part of a big stop for us.
Yeah, and how about this play by Scott McClintock? Look at all this faking.
Well, it's man coverage, Jim, and Scott McClintock did not take his eyes off his man, even though his, in many cases you would do that and made the play to get him stopped.
You aren't able to move the ball, and they get a decent field position, and this is where they start to get back in it. This is a designed quarterback draw for Krenzel.
It's a designed run out of the no-back set and getting great field position after a short punt.
And then here's a slip. Jeremy Surf slips, and Jenkins is able to make a play.
Jenkins is an outstanding receiver, Jim, 6'5". Marlon Jackson makes a good hit to knock him out of bounds. But Ohio State is in the red zone here, and another outstanding throw and catch from Krenzel to Holmes for his second touchdown of the year, beating man coverage.
That makes it a 28-14 game, and you're not able to move a lot offensively, and then they're moving the ball a little bit.
Well, Jim, we've been on the field a lot defensively here in this game. Ohio State had about the same number of plays we did. With that big offensive line, it was very difficult to sack the quarterback, and here he scrambles outside the pocket, makes a great throw down to Holmes. They got the ball first and goal in the 1.
And that was in the fourth quarter, and this is McMullen at quarterback. Krenzel was hurt, but Ross goes in and, I mean, pounds his way in, and it's a 28-21 game. Things are getting a little tough, and they get even a little tougher on this next series when John Navarre throws his first bad pass of the day.
Well, Jim, you know, we have a 21-point lead. The momentum after those 2 touchdowns by Ohio State, consecutive touchdowns, is completely with Ohio State, and then we make really the only big mistake of the game by throwing an interception.
But then your defense comes through.
Another great play there, an outstanding play by Elaine Cashmer coming around on a stunt, and Grant Bowman gets us a TFL, and we get the ball back late in the game.
And this is the drive of the game, in your opinion, don't you think?
Yes, I do. Another screen pass there that gets us a first down on 2nd and long. And then on 3rd down, Tyler Ecker makes an excellent catch, great protection.
Great throw.
Great throw. And now we're down in the red zone again and hit the draw play again, well blocked. I don't know if Chris got touch there, but he made great cuts, get back to the outside. And now we're about to find a way to win it.
35-21, still some time left in the fourth quarter, but your defense continues to get after it.
Well, Elaine Cashman coming off one side there, again making a real contribution to our team on Saturday.
You get the ball back, and you need some time off the clock. This is a tough call late in the game, but you get the first down.
Well, you know, it was one of those calls where I was, I was nervous about it because you turn the football over there, but Terry Malone made a great call. Chris made a good catch there and got us a first down, took some time off the clock, and then we punted away. And by the way, Jim, Adam Finley had his best day as a punter at Michigan, just did an outstanding job of kicking the football. And Ernest comes up there with a deflection off a pass defended by Marcus Curry and nailed the door shut.
And I wanted to bring up the kicking game, and you beat me to it. You're good at this.
Well, we didn't have any punts in there, but
what I wanted to say, though, is that beginning of the season, that was a problem area. And against Ohio State, where everybody gave Ohio State the edge in special teams, and I got to admit, Sanders a great punter, but that was not a factor in this game. And I think Finley did an outstanding job.
Well, our punt team, the protection that he had and the coverage was outstanding. We got a good kickoff return there. Actually, 2. Scott McClintock had a very good return off of a short kick. But you're right, Adam Finley gave our defense some great field position, and that had been one of the biggest strengths of this Ohio State team.
35-21, you win it. You're Big Ten champions all by yourselves. What's your take on this team and what it's come through since that third quarter against Minnesota?
Well, Jim, I think anytime you face real adversity, real disappointment, it gives you an opportunity to quit and surrender and let things fall apart, or it gives you an opportunity to fight back. And I don't remember a team being as down as we were. And then, of course, after 3 quarters at Minnesota, we were facing another apparent defeat, and they found a way to win. So it's a special group of people.
It is indeed. When we come back, we'll meet one of those special guys. But first, we hear from Chris Perry and Tony Pape, who says they can't run against OSU. Who said that?
Well, that's what they said, I think the analyst said we was only supposed to get 10, but we got a lot more than that. It's due to the offensive line, the wide receivers, John and Kevin Dudley. I mean, he didn't do a great job blocking, I don't know how he would have did it.
I love Chris, and I love our entire offense with everything I got. And it's so fun to see everybody succeed, and it's so great to get a Big Ten championship because we really deserve it.
Been through more than most any Michigan quarterback. He'll be at the top or near it in almost all passing categories. Yet, John Navarre has been more underappreciated than just about any other player in Michigan history. But you'll never hear John complain. He'd rather take the high road and express his appreciation for what Michigan has meant to him.
It's a great honor, and I'm honored to be a part of the tradition. And I think that's how I'll always treat it, as long as I'm alive, because you step in the door, your first day here, you realize it is a great honor. And to keep on going with that and be a part of the richer tradition, it's really special, and that's something I hold very close to me.
He got his chance to start early because Drew Henson got hurt. Many felt he wasn't ready, but Navarre says no way. He's not one to hide behind excuses.
I don't think I was thrown in the mix too early. You know, a lot of people say that, but I've always said that the expectations are for the position, and I have to be expected to go in there and play and help us win, no matter what age I am, no matter what stage of my career I'm in, because that's what is expected of you. This is Michigan, and every other position is held accountable for that.
Make no mistake, John Navarre is a special young man. Despite the criticism from the outside, he's never fired back. He's taken the negative and turned it into a positive.
I've learned right now, and what I'm going to take with me the rest of my life, is that playing here and playing football for these people, these coaches, being around these people is going to prepare you for anything in life down the road. You know, every one of us is going to be faced with adversity down the road, and this prepares you for it, teaches you how to handle those situations, and you're able to handle them easier, and you're going to be more successful because of that.
Despite all the records and wins as a football player, John's idea of his legacy at Michigan as he graduates and moves on is really very simple, and it speaks volumes about his character.
He was a good guy, a great leader, and he was about the team. He was about winning, and that's all he cared about. He cared about doing what he could to help his team win, and he wanted to win very, very badly. And I think if anybody said at least one of those things about me, I'd be happy.
Well, John, they're going to say a lot of those things about you. And you talked once after, I think, maybe the Ohio State game or a week before, you said, this is the toughest kid you know, not just physically, but mentally, isn't he?
Well, Jim, you know, John getting an opportunity to start as a sophomore when Drew left was a blessing and a curse. If you look back on it now, the opportunity to start all those games gave him the experience to where he was in a position to lead his team to a championship as a senior. But what he had to endure to get there was as hard a challenge as anybody has ever been through, I think.
He'll be in a special place for you, won't he?
Yes, he will.
That's John Navarre, a great quarterback for the University of Michigan. Don't go away. When we come back, Lloyd and I will just sit here and talk for a while, and you can join in if you want. But first we hear from Braylon Edwards. Says it's about time John Navarre got his due.
And I'm just happy we sent John out with a Big Ten championship. He's been here 5 years. He's taken criticism for 4.5. So I'm just glad he got a chance to get his ring and the not Super Bowl, but the Big Ten title, and I'm just happy for him.
Now, the Les Stanford Chevrolet Locker Room Report.
It's just the fact, we got one more game out there. We're just happy to be Big Ten champs, outright Big Ten champs. We went out there, was all on the line, and we found a way to get it done.
That's Carl Diggs, one of the captains of the Michigan Wolverines. Well, one thing's for sure, we saw it at the top of the show. The Wolverines are going to spend New Year's Day in Pasadena, at least.
Well, we're going somewhere to a great bowl game, Jim, and the truth is it comes down to a vote. And so, that's why everybody says, well, the national championship has to always be the goal. Well, You don't have that always under your control. The thing that you do have control over is the Big Ten championship, and that's why it's still a great goal and an important goal.
And you got to keep your kids focused because, you know, either way, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen in this BCS mess because I think it's a mess anyway. But the kids coming back have got to remain focused on getting a good team in whatever bowl it is.
Well, it appears that we're not going to know probably until the 6th of December. I think that's a Saturday when the conference championship games are played. So we will try to get some preliminary work done in terms of who might our opponent be, but it's a real question mark.
And the one thing I do want to talk about real quickly, Ohio State injury, you said Jason Avant, it's not anything real serious, you don't think, at least for preliminaries?
Well, Paul Schmidt, our outstanding trainer, feels like he should be ready to get back into bowl preparation here, but it'll take him a couple weeks, and thank goodness we've got that time.
Lloyd?
And Jim, by the way,
yes.
How much time we got?
30
Thanks
seconds.
to all those guys.
Oh, the players.
Who came back.
The M letter winners, the
goodness.
Michigan football players.
What that meant to our football team.
700 of them came back.
Yes, unbelievable.
Lloyd, that was great. And I couldn't be down there with them to run through, the team run through, but I wish I were.
Well, you were an important spot anyway in that stadium,
I was.
Jim.
Congratulations on a Big
you.
Ten championship.
Thank you. Great being with you.
Good to be with you, too. We'll be back next week. Don't go away, because next week you got to stay and watch a great story on Zia Combs. That's coming up next week, same time, same place, right here on Michigan Replay.
Michigan Replay has been brought to you in part by Abso Pure Water, delivering quality bottled water since 1908. By Fifth Third Bank, working hard to be the only bank you'll ever need. And by State Farm, providing insurance and financial services.